Well, a big majority of Americans in a brand new poll say they simply do not trust the U.S. government. The number's the highest in half a century. According to the Pew Research Center, nearly 8 in 10 Americans, 8 in 10, do not trust the folks in Washington to solve our national problems. Only 22% say that almost always or most of the time they do. So, what exactly does this no-confidence vote mean for the midterm elections coming up in November? Alan Colmes is the host of the Alan Colmes Show, and he's my guest now. Yeah. All right, Alan, they don't trust the government,
right,
and they are very clear about it.
And you know what?
What?
They've never trusted the government. This poll has never gone over 50%, except for right after 9/11. That's the only time.
But 80%.
It's always been like this.
But it's bigger.
It's bigger.
80% of the country,
and you know what?
The vast majority of the country doesn't trust the government?
It's worse for the Republican Party. It's worse for the Republican
How?
Party. This is the lowest trust ever exhibited toward a party in 50 years.
How? But don't the Democrats run Washington?
But if this poll, if you're going to cite this poll, shows that the trust has gone down tremendously for the Republican Party. There are about 18%,
and also
Democrats,
for the Democrats,
about 35%.
no?
More for the Republicans. It's gone down. The trend is further down for the Republicans.
Okay, but I mean, I'm just asking, partisanship aside, don't you think 80% of the country doesn't trust the folks running Washington?
They don't trust the
Is that good news for those running Washington?
For the Republican Party, but it's bad news for people running Washington, true.
So,
but Republicans are going to look at this and say...
So you look at this and say, come November, the Republicans fare worse than the Democrats?
Yes.
Because,
well,
based
I
on
don't know
this
if they'll
poll?
fare worse in November. They'll lose seats. I mean, Democrats will lose seats because it's a midterm election with Democrats in power, but they won't lose as many seats as Republicans think they're going to lose. And the Republicans risk getting a little too smug and self-satisfied, given the fact, yes, there's great discontent, great anger at Washington, but if you look at it on a party-by-party basis, the Republicans are down more.
They hate them both, don't they?
They hate them both.
They
it's true.
do. It's like the Tea Party is the only thing that's going up.
Well, the Tea Party is going up, but Andrew Kohut, who heads the Pew Research Center and did this poll, he said, be careful because if the economy recovers, things go well, the Tea Party then becomes marginalized, and they should not really take for granted that they're going to be a force going forward.
But wait, is that true? Because the Tea Party, that is their main issue, is the economy. But that plus big government. They don't like big government.
True.
Actually, there's a poll on that. If you guys, can we jump to number 3, the third poll on there, instead of the one we were going to go to? There, look at it. Okay, so it says that 50% of people want a smaller government with fewer services. Just 39% want a bigger government with more services. And this isn't just the Tea Party, but it's just showing you how the nation feels. They don't want big government.
When you take these polls, people will always say they want smaller government. They will always say that. But then you ask them, well, would you like to have health care that has portability? Yes. Would you like to not be punished for pre-existing conditions? Yes. When you ask specific questions, it answers differently. But you ask the general question, do people want smaller government? Of course they do.
Do you think that's still true in the wake of what we saw with health care? People got so actively involved. They're so up to speed on the issues. And there's been such a movement as of late, in part thanks to the Tea Party, about calling attention to big government.
I'm not sure they're up to speed on the issues. I think I've seen a lot of misrepresentation on this issue. And I think as it gets established, I think people will like it more.
The point I'm trying to raise is, haven't we seen something in this country over the past 6 months to a year where people are complaining more and more than I've remembered in recent years about big government? Such that you might take that poll a little bit more seriously.
18% of the country, according to the CBS New York Times poll, may identify with the Tea Party. I think they're just a little better organized and a little louder. But the guy who did the Pew poll, Andrew Kohut, also says that the Tea Party could move the Republican Party too far to the right, which will hurt the party.
And what do you think about the fact that it's not just the Tea Partiers, though? Because when I look at that 50% number, that suggests to me, I mean, the Tea Partiers don't make up 50% of the electorate.
No.
So
there's
more than just the Tea Partiers out there who are saying the government's gotten too big.
You know,
get out of our business.
They're always going to say that.
Who do they hold responsible for that when we get to November?
They hold both parties responsible. It's not particular to one party. They hold both parties responsible. And, of course, within the Republican Party, you've got this division between the Tea Partiers who want to move it to the right and the mainstream Republicans, some of whom are not that thrilled with that direction that the party might take.
Do you believe that they really will hold the Republicans equally accountable as the Democrats come November when you had to take the health care vote, all the Democrats supporting it and none of the Republicans?
Democrats will be hurt more again because they are the majority party. It's an off-year election. The Republicans are the minority party at the moment. They're going to gain some seats.
But it's not about who's going to be hurt more. What I'm saying is that's an example of big legislation on meaning big government. on which the Democrats were responsible, the Republicans didn't want it. And my question is, those who don't like the big government, are they going to hold that?
When you use phrases like big
them?
government, of course, people don't like that. Again, you say you want less government, people are going to say yes. But as this kicks in, it's going to unfortunately be a couple of years. It's going to take too long for it to kick in. I believe that as people see what the changes are, they're going to be a lot happier than they are.
One more poll before I let you go.
Sure.
This is poll number 2, guys. Poll number 2. Look at this. Are you satisfied or dissatisfied with the state of the country? 69%. Hold on. There it is. Dissatisfied. 69% of the electorate, those polled, unhappy.
Polls show that people don't like Congress, but all polls also show that they're more favorably inclined to their particular Congress people and senators than they are to Congress as an institution.
Well, this one isn't about Congress. The approval rating for Congress is even lower.
They don't, again, but that doesn't mean they're going to vote their particular people out.
Well, how are they going to change? How are they going to get satisfied with the country?
That's a good question, except that polls show that they like their particular congressperson, if not Congress in general.
They just want them to do something differently.
Yeah, they don't know exactly what, but they want change.
I'm telling you, you need to be the leader.
This is where you're really wrong. This is the biggest mistake you could possibly make.
Some of our viewers may agree.
None. No will agree.
All right, Alan, thanks so much for being here.